Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Tippy lured me into lay down with him on the bed, and I fell asleep, and I just woke up. So I'm a minute late. Sorry about that. I'm going to give everybody a minute to get in here. I did the funky mandala yesterday, and that's all I did, arty, yesterday at all. And we currently have a storm going over. So if I lose power or internet, that's where I've gone. It looked clear as it could be this morning, and then this storm moved in. So we'll see how long it hangs around. Hi, Janice and Jan and Barbara. And this mandala I did, it's kind of a wonky one. Hi, Kathy. I put my protractor on the edge of the paper and just did a curve and then moved to the next curve and around, and it gave me these wonky little petals. And then I just decorated it up with my Arteza markers. And it's a fun little thing. It'll make a cute note card. Hi, Terrielle. And then let me move some of this stuff off so it's not so confusing to have so much in the way. I've started my book that I'm going to do with Barb Owen. She used watercolor paper, inexpensive watercolor paper from Michael's, the Artist Loft brand. And she took a 9x12 pad. You have to have 14 pages total of these. And you cut them in half, so you end up with a if you cut it in half, it's 9 inches this way and 6 inches tall. And then you fold each of those in half. And it is tricky because you're going against the grain, but I got it done. And then what you do is you glue, like here's the first one, you glue it to the second one to the third one, and so on. And I used Yes paste. Well, when I was putting my color on, all I did was just used acrylic paint. Now, Barb last night, she came on and she added color with the art paste. So she's getting some really neat looking textures. I just used a couple things of paint and just kind of slapped it around, wet it down and slapped it around. Well, when I'd go to heat it to, dry it off, it would heat my Yes paste up. So it started lifting apart here. And so once I got all the way done, I put it back under my heavy thing for a little while. Then I pulled it back out and I just took Elmer's glue all and I pinched it together real tight and just spread with my finger glue all along the spine, and then put it back under my heavy stuff on top of a craft mat, and it's glued it all. But I was just going to do a quick flip to kind of show my colors and everything. I decided to take a rubber stamp set of alphabet. You can see I just put some A's on here. That's just done with Stays On ink. And then I put on each page, I put a stamp of a little person, and I did this stamp myself on an eraser. Hi, Teresa Church. Hi, Mina. Hi, Mary. Hi, Cheryl. Vicki Schultz. Hello. Hi, Holly. For anybody that did not see where I shared about our loss in the community, Roista Ilja passed away on the 24th. Her husband put a post on Facebook that I don't know what she passed from, but she passed in his arms and her light went out, as he said. So I just wanted to make sure everybody heard that or saw it. I was wondering where she was, so now we know. And I was kind of glad that we found out because, so many people disappear from the community and we never know what has happened. So I have told Scott, if I ever fall ill or anything, he is to contact Mary or Janet or, somebody that I talk about with him all the time, just so that, y'all will know if something happens. That's just me. Hi, Nashua. So back to my book that I'm doing. Barb started this last Friday. She did a live last night showing how she's adding her color. And so I'm just going to flip through mine, and each page will have its letter on it where I use the alphabet stamps, and you'll see that one's B. So you get the idea. I don't really like this color combination, but Barb said, don't worry about it because you'll cover most of it up anyway. Just the idea is to show up next Friday or this Friday and start working with her. This is going to be a positive word journal. And I think we all need some positivity right now. So I said, yes, I'll join in. So we'll just do a flip. And I'm going to put my little guy I carved on each page. That one's got some pink to it, but it looks like it's solid blue, but it's got a little pinky purple along the edges. You can't even see it. G. And you can see where I tried to add some color with marker underneath the paint, and I didn't like it, so then I pulled the paint out and I just went to town with paint. That one's a little on the dark side, but I'm sure we'll lighten it up. And I can't wait to get started on this book with Barb on Friday. This is what we're going to do on Friday with her. And see, that one's got reds in it and everything, and you just can't see it on there. That's weird. And I would put not just one solid color. Like here I did yellows and orange and a cream, I think. And I just kind of spread it around just to get the color down. And the little person jumps around the pages. I just thought he was cute and I wanted to add it. And you can see where it did crack a bit. That's another thing. I did not use watercolor paper like Barb said to. I used mixed media paper, and I am getting some cracking. That's just an FYI, but Barb said use what you have. That's what I had. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Mindy. I hope I haven't missed anybody. I'm trying to watch the chat. Uh-oh, these stuck together. I'm not real worried about this because I was thinking if I put a napkin down, I could just make the napkin go across the page. And that would take care of the cracking in the middle. Another thing, Y and Z. I didn't paint here, and I did not paint here where the title's going to go, and these will attach to the covers. Before I had started coloring my pages individually, I had taken rose gold and just applied it here, but then after I added the color to the pages, look how fun that turned. It turned into this really rainbow-licious, pretty colors. And I didn't really do any rhyme or reason with the colors. Like, you know, I didn't do so many pages yet in a warm color, so many in cool. Just whatever I grabbed got put on each page. So it's not like anything set pattern or anything. And I like that. So this is for Friday. I showed the weird little mandala I did yesterday just to occupy my mind. I cleaned my table off. I put new paper down this morning. So I'm good to go with that project. And while cleaning, I came across this. This is a Russell Stover's candy box from Valentine's. And I pulled all the white, or most of it off. And it actually pulled this corner. And I said, I'm not going to worry about that. But I thought how fun it could be just to recover this with like painty paper. And then that got me to thinking about how at one time we talked about doing a altered paintbrush swap. And these are the size I was thinking about doing for the swap. And instead of making them so they hang, so you hang them from here, I was thinking how fun it would be to make them people, and then they would be stored like in a jar. And so all these faces would stick out of the jar. So that's why I was leaning toward these, and this would be their hair. The brush would be their hair, and we'd do a face here. And these are Kraus and Becker industrial grade chip brush. It's a 2-inch size. I got these at Harbor Freight for next to nothing. You can get a whole box of these really cheap there. But I had picked up several of them. So that's something we could do. These are cheap and cheesy. They do shed. So just an FYI, there's, I don't know, between cat hair and brush hair, I don't know what's more. And then this, I wanted to do, like Mary has the little sign that Janet made her. I want to do a sign for my channel that I can put down each time I'm going live. And so I want to do an Aunt Beck's Creations kind of sign. And this is just I want to say an 8x10 sized canvas. And then the last thing I thought we could do is let's do a mixed media pick. We'll do a dirty dozen. I got little kitty cat cards all shuffled up. These have prompts on them. But what I was thinking about doing is doing a larger sheet, or even if we just start with like a regular piece of cardstock, it'll warp a little bit with the wet stuff. But I was thinking how fun it would be to do backgrounds, do a couple dirty dozen, cut them to this size, and then we could come up with prompts and everybody could make their own prompt deck. Does that sound like something you would be interested in doing? Do y'all want to make your own cards? Hi, Janet. I just thought it would be fun, and we could come up with prompts that, okay, everybody says that sounds like fun. So we're going to do that first. We're going to make a prompt deck, and I've got my little cards out here. So I'm going to set these aside, but these are projects that I want to do either with y'all or as a video or do as swaps, okay? So right now I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock. Oh, I wanted to share one more thing before we start our dirty dozen. Greg sent me, that's my son, for anybody that doesn't know, he sends me this link and he said, Mom, the cats need these. So I said, okay, the cats need these. Let's see, what is this? So I open it up and it's cat couches for cats. So I went on Ravelry and they had the patterns for $1.99. So I bought the 2 patterns, and they're little couches that you crochet. This one's round and this one looks just like a couch. So these are now on my to-do list. He has a friend that said that if they turn out, if I can make it work, that she would buy some from me. So, or anybody that he could find that could make them, which usually means me. But anyway, aren't they adorable? The regular couch is 11 inches tall, 14 inches deep, and 21 inches wide. And the round sofa is 10 inches tall and 16 inches across. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but they are just so stinking cute. And it's even got the instructions for the tiny little pillows on them. And I was thinking of Violet, because I know Violet crochets as well. You'd be surprised if it's something they enjoy sleeping on, they won't tear it up. So that's now on my to-do list. So let me grab a piece of paper. I know Mary's probably going to do a huge thing. going to do a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. This is some, I can tell from the texture, it came out of one of those bargain pads that they have at Michael's. Let me pull you guys out a little bit. There we go. Oh, what are they called? Hot buys. This is a hot buy paper, but it'll work for cards. Barbara, I will. It's called Kitty Couches by Candy Clayton, but I'll put the link so you can go and they were $1.99 each. And I actually, Ravelry sent me to Annie's Attics e-patterns. So that's where I actually purchased them. And I don't know if anybody else has tried to purchase anything with PayPal today. It was acting so weird, and it told me that, oops, something went wrong. Try again later. Well, then the purchase went through. So I don't know if they're having issues or what, but anyhow, let's see. I'm just going to size these up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we can get 4 that way. And about 5 this way. So you'll be able to get 20 cards, 20 cards this size. I'll tell you this size when we go to chop them up. All right, Mina. I had that problem the other day that my phone just would not stay playing. All right, so what I'm going to do is as I lift them off, I'll set them right here, face up toward y'all after we do them. And I guess I need a pad of paper to write them down so I can put them in the description box later. I'm on here half baked. You know what? There's a piece of paper in the trash I can use. I'll just fold it in half and use the back of it. And I can write these down. And we'll do our Dirty Dozen prompts. And after we get the sheet filled, we'll cut them up and y'all can help me do prompts. And then maybe we'll use these prompts for next week and we'll do another set. Oh, cool. Barbara says she made a prompt cards out of Twinchies. That would be cool. They would be small too. These are, I'll go ahead and tell you what these are right now. 2 by 3. 2 by 3. All right, so first prompt, I don't know who all is playing. Hi, Sharon. Hey, Cheryl. I think I said hi to Cheryl. All right, first prompt says add a napkin. Add a napkin. So let me... I just grabbed my first napkin I came across. And I like to tear it up anyway, so I'm just going to tear it and see if I can get the back off from it. Sometimes getting the back off is half the battle. All right. Looks like it's only got the one layer. So again, I'm going to tell you guys, if I suddenly disappear, we have a storm moving through. it may knock me off. I'll use this whole napkin. I'm just tearing it up into bits for right now. I don't know if me closing a couple of blinds would help the lighting or not. Looks a little better. This is that decoupage by Americana for napkins. I really kind of like it. Hi, your little red wagon. Basically, you can cut this up into any size that you want. If you would rather do twinchies, go ahead. I'm not worried about wrinkles. Wrinkles is texture. I did not put any type of primer of any sorts on this paper. This is just plain cardstock. It's what I saw in there and decided to grab. I watched some of Dee Dee this morning. She was stamping out some of her stamps. And the little stamp store that I used to go to down near our house, they closed. And I have so many stamps and I don't utilize them. I need to go through and keep only the ones I know I will use. Like I love the little house mouse stamps and things like that. But then I've got some others like stamp sets that I bought a while ago and I really have not even used any of them. So it's kind of pointless to still, keep them around. That piece went all wonky, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm so glad Scott doesn't still work for the company he worked before, because they've got cases popping up in their building right and left, and they're not doing anything to protect the workers that are still in the building. And they work right up next to each other in that place. So I'm so glad Scott does not work there anymore. He has a friend that still works there. I worry about him. Is Brittany bringing up food? Oh, she's making dinner. The reason I'm on early today is they've cut down the amount of time the lines are up and running, where Scott is working. It's like only things that are absolutely necessary are running right now, like probably the lines that make the internal defibrillators and that kind of stuff. So they've been having him work in the other building, which they do other things in the other building. And so today they wanted him to come in at 1, and so he'll get off from work early tonight. So I said, well, I'm going to go on and do my live so I can be off when he gets home, so I can talk with him and stuff when he gets home. And I said, I hope they don't mind me coming on early. I was like, it's what it's got to be right now. You tried to look up stamp catalogs and there's not much out there right now? There was some really off the wall stamp companies around. I don't know if they're all still in business or not. I had posted that I wished I knew how to knit, and Vicki Brown was so sweet. She's knitted me one of those little kitty cats that I posted that I wished I could knit. She knitted me one, and he's on his way to me. I can't wait. It just looked so cute on Pinterest, and I was like, I can't knit. But then somebody else said, well, you could probably change it to crochet. And I said, well, I probably could. Hi, Elizabeth K. We are doing a dirty dozen, which is 12 prompts that we're going to chop up and make into prompt cards. Oh, I didn't write that down. Number 1 was add a napkin. And I'm just using a, can't spell napkin, piece of cardstock, a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. Prompt cards. We're going to make prompt cards just like these, but they'll have this as their back. This is just a stamp that I did of kitty cats. And then after I get them, after we get it done, the dirty dozen done, then we'll chop these into the 2x3s, and then y'all help me fill in the other side of the card with prompts. And then next week we'll use these prompts to do another one, and then eventually we'll have this great big fat deck of our own prompt cards, and everybody will have prompt cards that way if they play along. All right, I'm going to pull number 2. Hey, Laura. All right, prompt number 2. Drip paint down the page. Number 2, drip paint down the page. I might dry mine just a little bit so that this glue is dry. Oh, there's my little person. He had fallen down. I need to put him somewhere the cats won't get him, because they like to chew on him if they can get a hold of him. Drip paint down the page. All right, let me go grab some paint and paintbrush and water and all the stuff I did not grab. Where is it? I think I'm going to use a different shade of purple. Oh, I didn't grab a paintbrush. Man, my brain is like, I don't know where. Tell you what, these lids to the oatmeal, these are great for paint mixing. Oh, that's cool. Barbara Clark says, just looking at the sets of prompt cards I've made, I just got it. The first one, ATC card size, is painted one color on the back, so I can pick a red, yellow, green, blue, and purple, journaling by 5 style. That's a good idea. It's not doing, not wet enough. So I'm just going to run it down the side and see if I can get it to drip down. Oh, I got a few drips that time. Maybe run across and drip it down like that. Might have to spray it to get it to drip. Because it's not wanting to drip. Okay. Got some drippage there. It's trying. There we go. Good enough. I got some drippage, sorta. Hi, Linda McAllister. Hi, Lisa. Susan. I know this falls right at a lot of people's dinner time, but it's what I had to do today because Scott's working an earlier shift. Cardstock's not liking getting wet, but too bad. Too bad, so sad. See if I can get it dry, at least everyone. Hi, Millie. All right, that's the downside of using cardstock, is it does not like getting wet at all. Okay, let's see. Did I get everybody helloed? Hello. Oh, Callie's trying to open the door. Hang on. Come on. Okay, I'm going to pull number 3. I know this is still really wet, but we're going to go for it. Use metallic paint. Use metallic paint. I'm looking at my metallic paint, trying to pick a color. I think I'm just going to scrape some on with a palette knife. Oh, that's something I did when I was putting that book together for Barb Owens' Positivity Words. I broke my favorite palette knife. Kind of ticked me off, but I'll have to get another one later. And I'm going to add this intense blue sapphire by Folk Art Metallic. Superior coverage, it says. It's still really wet, so. Well, the rain's really coming down. I've got plant saucer pans underneath my tomato plants that I put out in pots. I'll have to, when the rain stops, I'll have to go dump all those pans. I got a piece of the napkin came off there, but that's all right. Texture, right? That's texture. I'm just putting some blue everywhere there's really not much color yet. It'll all get buried anyway. Maybe I'll get a little bit more. And yes, this looks like a hot mess right now, but right now it's not very far along. Honey, I can't hold you right now. Go get in your chair. She's wet too. She's like, but I want to dry myself off on you. She doesn't usually like to be held though, so it's kind of weird for her to come and. She's not a lovey cuddle kitty like the little boy cats are. She's got things to do, places to go, people to bother, mice to hunt, and that kind of thing. She ain't got time for nothing else. So what's everybody been watching on Netflix? I just watched A Secret Love this morning. I sat here bawling my eyes out thinking about how they had to wait so many years to be open about their love. Makes me ill that they had to wait so long. Hey, baby. I know it's raining. I know. Okay, go lay down. I'm going to get the heat gun out. You hate that. You've been watching Ozark? I started watching, Schitt's Creek. Lost interest, moved on to something else. Oh, Janet's trying to get her dinner done. That's okay. I kind of figured everybody'd be in and out for a little bit. Drying this a little bit more, and then I'll look at chat for a minute and let everybody catch up. And remember, anything that's ugly big looks great small, and we're cutting this into 2x3 rectangles. So this is going to be great. And we still have a lot of prompts left to do. Callie she's a calico, and she likes to come in first thing in the morning and get in my lap when the house is still quiet and Scott's not up yet and the other cats are doing their own thing and the dog's out in her playpen, and she likes to get in my lap and just sit there. She don't want me to pet her. If I try to pet her too much, she's like, okay, look, I'm out of here. You're going to have to get up and let me out. But she loves that recliner time with just her and I, and she'll sit there and I'll talk to her and she'll talk back. It's like we have a conversation. And people think I'm crazy talking to my cat, but she talks back. Only 3 bottles, and it was all cinnamon. Everybody's trying to find things to occupy their children. For anybody that doesn't homeschool, this has been a real thing for them. Hi, Ann. Yeah, I like the rounded corners on a deck of cards. No craft paint. Mary had no craft paint either. Oh dear. They unplugged your TV. Tell them they've got to, if they're going to unplug it, they have to learn to go under there and plug it back in. Rotten beasties. Hi, Kimberly 557. Yeah, well, Tippy's in on my bed and Callie's watching it rain sitting on Scott's desk. Your little dog will talk to you, but not your husband. That's funny. Uh-oh, your son's overcrafting. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call number 4. Stencil time. It just says stencil, so you have to pick your own color and your own stencil. No, baby. No, no, no. This is wet paint. You can't get up here right now. Get down. Do you want to go back out? It's raining. You want to go on the porch? You want to go on the porch? Let's go on the porch. Come on. Come on, Callie. Oh, stop. You're all wet. Get up, buddy. There you go. I'm going to let her come out there. You all right, buddy? No. You're okay. It's okay. Just a minute. Callie, you want to come back in? What are you doing? Okay. Oh, cats. Cats. Oh, Bernadette, I can't take you out right now, baby. It's pouring rain. You're going to have to wait. What did I do with that? Let's do this one. I'm going to use that stencil and ink spot. Bernadette, it's raining right now. You're going to have to wait. I'm sorry, baby. I got Bernadette an appointment with a new vet on Friday, and they're only doing drop-off appointments. So she's got to be dropped off, and they said she's going to be there for about 4 hours, which that's about what they keep her for grooming anyway, but she's not getting groomed. She's getting a checkup and shots and all that kind of stuff. But she loves everybody, so it's no big deal for her to go and hang out with perfect strangers. I mean, she'd go home with anybody if they took her, but Scott says we haven't been that lucky. We're not really dog people. She just kind of came into our life and we kept her, but she'll probably be the last dog we have because just not dog people. Now, my sister, on the other hand, she has nothing but dogs. So I leave the dogs to her from now on. She's a better dog mama than I am. Oh, for anybody that didn't see, my sister Robin, the potter, she has a new website where because the SCA canceled their big event that they have in the fall where she sells a bunch of pottery, she has revamped and opened up a new website to sell her pottery. So if anybody's interested in Roman period pieces or would like a Roman period mug or anything like that, she has those for sale. It's part of her whole, that's their vacation every year is they go up north to that, and they're not going to get to do that this year. But she's been making pottery, so she needs to sell the pottery. So it's Clay Baby Pottery. If you type in Clay Baby, you'll find my sister. Clay Baby Pottery. Her name is Robin. Good enough. I just dropped the sponges in the water, and the stencils I'll get to eventually. Oh, what's this? Oh, my watch is fussing at me. It says, let's roll. And I'm like, no, it's raining. Oh, I wish we had a vet did house calls. Our vet that we had down in Casey is currently quit doing clinic hours where you can't just walk in. You have to have an appointment now. So I said, well, if I have to have an appointment, I'll go ahead and get Bernadette set up with a vet up here. I mean, this is where we are going to be living from now on. So I might as well get my life entirely up here instead of being divided. Thanks, Susan. She makes some really pretty pieces, and she does some, she builds an in-ground Roman kiln every year, once or twice a year, and sits it in front of it. And she has also done other types of like pit firing and that kind of stuff, but mostly it's a Roman kiln style. And then she has an electric kiln like Beth has that she fires stuff in. I seem to be on a blue kick today. So much for the purple in the background. Dry this a little bit. All right. Okay. We are on number 5, and number 5 is use black. Number 5, use black. Okay, so I'll grab some black, a fresh sponge, and a different stencil, but something small. I don't want to put a whole bunch of black on here. Something that'll leave a small print. Let's see here. Those are all too big. Let's get this. That's something I need to get at the craft stores. I'm going to need craft paint. I would love to do a jelly printing session sometime and try to use up a bunch of my paint so I'll have an excuse when stores are back open freely and I can go and stock up on all new colors, except I have to keep this color always because I love it. It's called Ink Spot by Folk Art. I love that dark blue. All right, so I got a tiny little bit of black. I got my little photo book of little things here. Let's see. See, I don't want it to make great big pieces. Let me go back to the beginning. Pieces. I think I'm going to do maybe this geometric shape right here. Let's see here. You know, there's a right and a wrong way to stencils, but I can never figure it out by looking at it. I'm going to go this way and hope it's the right way. And I'm not going to put a lot. Maybe a little bit there. It just says use black. It doesn't say you have to use a whole bunch of it. And keep in mind, it might get buried. And a little bit of black goes a long way. Because see, I'm still getting some out of this sponge. And I just put that little bit down on the paper. I'm trying to put it in places where it's visible. Like right there would be good. I've been watching the folks from Whose Line Is It Anyway? They do a live on YouTube on Monday nights before their actual show goes live on the CW. But they've been on there just talking, and it's so fun to just, see them in their homes and having a good time together. Everybody's separate and that kind of stuff. Hi, Mary Hill. Scott asked about you the other day and was wondering how you were doing. And I said, well, she popped in to my live not too long ago. We are well so far, knock on wood. So far, none of the three of us have gotten ill. My brother-in-law's wife's twin sister caught it, and we haven't heard how she's doing or anything. But I'm hoping she's getting better. What did Kathy say about a magnifier? Hang on. Oh, she's embroidering. Oh, I told Scott we have a magnifying light that is attached to his skill saw. And I told him when we get settled, I'd love to get a magnifying light to use at my table or near a recliner where I could sit and stitch, because I have that same problem. Can't see worth beans. Oh, and I did see where you've been cutting the shapes out. Bye, Cheryl. Enjoy your dinner. We'll be here for a while. I need to do another couple fabric pages. I got to do one for Beth Schuler and Sherry Habing. Bye, Cheryl. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull number 6. Add dots and dashes. Dots and dashes. A dash, a dot, a dash, a dot. That's what I mean by dots and dashes. Throat's getting dry. Talking too much. Out of tea. I think I'll use a Posca pen. Excuse me. Got a package here for Ann Lar. I just need to get it in the mailbox to the post office. Let's see. I don't want to use any black. I think I've got some colored Poscas. I need to start using them up. So I think I'm going to bring the purple back up to the top with this kind of violet color. Is it time for gold? We'll see if we pull it. And you know what? I put that the wrong direction, so y'all can't see it. If you wanted to use gold, you could. Go get tea. I'll go get something to drink here in a minute. And while I'm doing that, this can dry. I need to squish that out. Whoa, got a puddle. I might just get some water. I've probably had enough caffeinated beverages today. I keep forgetting I've got herbal tea. I should make some of that up. And I won't be consuming so much caffeine, which is not good for blood pressure issues. Although I think my blood pressure is a lot better now that I'm not managing people. I think I'll do this here. I've got a puddle of color on my table there. Your dashes don't have to be perfectly straight. See, mine aren't. All right, I'm going to call that good. I'm going to clean that nib off on my drop paper. Let me go get some water. I'll be right back. Oh, that's better. right. All right. Hi, Marge. All right. I'm going to dry this real quick so my dots and dashes won't, spread all over the page. All right, I'm going to pull number 7. Add punched shapes or die cuts. Add punched shapes or die cuts. Well, let me see. I have some things here. I'm just going to use these flowers right here. And I've got that napkin decoupage. Let me get something else out here. Oh, I've never used this stuff. We'll see if it works. It came in a kit, I think. It's Anita's, which I think is a Walmart brand. Decoupage glue. So I'll sit here and glue these flowers on. This will take me a little while. I'm just trying to shake this up really good. I'm going to put this decoupage on the back of my lid. We'll see if this stuff works. I've never used it. It looks really, 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 really watery. So let's take some of this water off my glue brush. We'll just see how this works. It's kind of cool that the flowers are also blue and kind of purpley looking. This looks like more than one flower. Well, I pulled that one apart. Let's try again. I think I was trying to punch a bunch of stuff out quickly one time, and I hope this stuff actually works. If not, I guess I'll be gluing these on separately. Ooh, that's bright. I don't mind that they're kind of disappearing into the background a little bit at all. That doesn't bother me. Because if you think about it, these are going to be so small. Anyhow, uh-oh. That one doesn't want to stick there. It's like it doesn't like the napkin underneath. All right, just see if it'll stay there. Oh, you know what? These were punched off an envelope. That's why they have that funny little flap on them. One of y'all sent me this material for these for these flowers. I mean, they're envelope flowers I punched out of an envelope scrap. That's what that is. Well, let's just put a little puddle on the page. That might work out even better. Maybe put a little decoupage on there. Uh-oh. It'll be interesting to see if this stuff keeps these stuck down. I sent some belated surprises to the youngest nieces and nephews for a late Easter kind of thing to help occupy them for their parents. And one set of kids got all their stuff already, and the other set's having to wait as things come in one at a time. And it's like, And then I realized the last thing we're waiting on is coming from China. I need to let my brother know. Put that stuff in quarantine for a while. That little one does not want to stick down. I don't know if it just didn't have. Well, I'm not sold on this stuff from Walmart. This stuff. The decoupage or whatever stuff. Decoupage glue. Specially formulated. I don't know what it's specially formulated for. Doesn't seem to be formulated to stick very well. Maybe I'm just not patient enough for it. Maybe that's the problem. Let's see. All right, how many are going to fall off still? Okay. I got a few left here. We're going to use these up. Your bulbs are just coming up. I just planted out some things in pots. I don't want to put a lot in the ground, since I don't own this house. We're just staying here. I haven't wanted to do much gardening, but I told Scott, I said, I really would like to have some tomatoes this year. So I told him, I said, I've brought my big pots up from the house. I'll just have a container garden. We'll see how I do. So I tried to get determinate sized tomatoes, meaning that they won't grow really, 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 really tall. Since they're in pots, I wanted something that would stay relatively small. So I've got me a little garden out there. So far, I haven't had to water it. Mother Nature's helped me out with that. I'm just going to put some of that down on there and see if it'll stick. Stick! Doggone it. Quit moving around. It's driving me crazy. It's like, stick. Please stick. Will I go out of the way to buy this? No, I will not. It's being a pain in my stick. Where'd that other flower go? Right there? I don't know where it went. Well, it grabbed too, wherever it fell. So we were talking about our anniversaries coming up, and our favorite place to go eat has closed its doors after so many years of being in its family, and everything's not, who knows if it's going to be open in another couple weeks. So I told Scott yesterday, I said, I might have to just start researching just a special meal I could prepare here at home to celebrate our anniversary this year. I'm not real comfortable going out anyway, so. Because people don't practice what they're supposed to be doing here. They act like, they're not afraid to get it, but that's not the issue. The problem is you might not be afraid about getting it, but somebody you walk next to might be deathly ill or have some other kind of health issue that if they caught it, it'll kill them. So that's why I'm anxious about going out. Not that I'm sick or anything. It's just you could have it on you and not know it and infect somebody. And that's what makes me worry. So I would hate to make someone else ill. And everybody talking about, we got to get this country back up and running. Well, if we get it back up and running too soon and we lose like half of our population, is money really worth that? I don't think so. Let's see, that's glue. Don't put it in with your paint. That would be bad, bad, bad. I love spring. Everything's fresh and new and pretty, and I agree. All right, I'm going to dry it and see if the flowers all fall off. And that cleaned out one of my storage boxes. How about that? Joyce, you're getting the rain now? It just started here not too long ago. But usually, Joyce, it hits you and then comes over the mountain and gets me. So maybe this is moving the opposite way. We've had some nasty storms. High winds and such. Tornado warnings and all that. That's something about spring I could do without, but that's just the price you pay for living in the South, I guess. All right. How's everybody doing that's playing along? I love spring and autumn. I could do out without the heat of summer and the freezing cold of winter. If it could stay spring and fall all the time, woohoo, that would be awesome. All right, I'm going to pull number, what are we on? 8. Gesso out an area. So you got to pick somewhere, and I might do several spots so that it hits on all these cards. Gesso out an area. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to take gesso and use it like paste with my palette knife here and just put it through a stencil, and that'll gesso out some areas. And it doesn't say black, white, or gray, or clear. So whatever color gesso you got, go for it. Is this gesso? No, that's not what it is. There's no gesso. Gesso. Howard, do you want to come in? What? Hello. Okay. What? Okay. Ew. I don't think I'm going to use that. It's got something growing on it. Let's throw that away. Let's see here. Do I have any other gesso? got this great big thing of gesso. Let me see. Ow. I'm just going to scoop some out onto this thing here. That should be enough to do some spots. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to have to get me another container to put some of this out of this great big bucket into. That little container I was using had, it looked like mold. No, 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 not right now. Sorry, my little guy, not right now. Of course, Tippy decides now is when he needs to get up and come get in the middle of everything. Let's see, what do I want to use? Let's use some squares. We'll gesso out a couple areas around. No, Tower, no, no, no. Nobody. Nobody. Not right now. My only hope is I can move faster than a cat. I'm gonna have a mess. And I knew I'd get out too much. So let's see. I need to do something with this gesso. All right, let me get a book page or something. Whoops. This will work. Okay, we'll set that aside to dry. That might get chopped up into something else. And I got a paper towel here. It's got a little moisture to it. There's a tangle called Mary Hill. That's funny. Do you guys want me to crack the door? If I do that, do not bring in any mice, chipmunks, squirrels, rats. None of that comes in the house, okay? I'll crack it. You guys can come in and out. Don't bring me any critters. All right. Yeah, those high winds freak me out because we have so many large trees around this tiny little house. But then I tell Scott, this house has stood since 1940s. I guess we'll be safe. Something I like about Zentangle is you can take it anywhere with limited supplies, you know? Try to get this dry. We're on 8. That was 8. All right. I'm going to pull 9 and see what it says. Use red. Use red. I'm going to use red spray. I hope. Buddy, I opened the door, honey. I think I have a red spray. Baby girl, I know. But it's raining right now. Can you wait just a little bit longer? Trying to get to the sprays. I'm buried here. Ah, let's see. I'm going to run this under hot water. I'll be right back with you guys. This is one of those smooch spritz things. It's red. Shake it. Yes, red. That's what the card said. I'm going to try to do just a tiny little bit of red. Is there an alt for red? I can pull you an alt. Add numbers. That's your alternate. Let me see. I'm going to spray this in the trash and see how it does first. Well, it doesn't spray at all. Whoa. Well, I finally got it to spray. Let's see. If I can see where the hole is, that's my problem. It doesn't spray out very much at once anymore, which is kind of good. There we go. I'm going to call that as enough red. There's red on there. That's all it needs to be. Just a little bit of red. Honey, you can go outside. The door is open. You can go outside. I can't stop the rain, Pumpkin. I'm sorry. If I could, I would. Ooh, maybe I should lock that because the wind's picked up. No need to have the door ripped off the hinges. Oh, I've got glue on my fingers and it's creeping me out. All right, I'm going to dry this. Or try to. So we got 10, 11, and 12. Some kind of, they call the smooch spritz is what it said on the bottle. Some kind of paint spray of some sort. We'll see what luck I have getting it to dry enough to go to the next one. It doesn't seem to want to dry very well. Oh, it's making the gesso bubble. All right. Add numbers for an alternate for the red. All right. Okay. Number 10. Use sprays. Does anybody need an alternate for use sprays? Oh, here comes Tippy. Pumpkin, what's the matter? You don't have sprays. I'll give you let's do an alternate. Let me move this. Nope, leave that alone. That's a candle. It's going to burn you. Stop. It's Tippy break time. Add circles is our alternate. I'm going to do that one. Add circles. Now, how can I add circles with you here? Everybody says, hi, Tippy. They're saying, hi, Tippy. See, Tippy's got a nick out of his ear. He must have gotten a fight a while ago. Poor thing. What's bad is Tippy is here, and then in the chair right there is Howard. I'm going to blow that candle out so that he doesn't get burned on it. And I'm going to go get stuff to do circles, and then I'll move him. Bernadette, honey, it's raining. Yes, it's raining. Sorry. Buddy, I'm going to have to move you. I'm going to use my curler and rose gold. Come here. Yes, I know you want to sit there and be on the camera because you're such a sweet little boy. But just be right here on your bed instead. Stay there. Okay. Bernadette, I can't take you out right now. Let's see how many circles I can make. That one didn't even print. Tippy, that was uncalled for. Don't knock things off Scott's desk. I'll have to go see what he's knocked off now because it's on the floor. Remember, this is getting chopped up, so I'm trying to make sure everything has a little bit of the colors on it. Good enough. All right. What did you knock on the floor? The mouse. Dad's going to come home and say, why doesn't my mouse work? And I'm going to say, Tippy did it. It's raining. Do you want to go out? Up to you. Told you. Okay, I'm going to dry some. Oh, Lisa had to go. Bye, Lisa. That was number 10. We got just 2 more. All right, number 11 says, use a Sharpie or any other marker that you have. I think because I have so much other paint on here, I'm just going to use a paint pen. Let's see. I'm going to use a yellow paint pen. Yeah, he got mad. He's gone to sit on the front steps. Just go sit on the stoop. He'll want back in here in just a second. He does not like to get wet. it cracks Scott up because he'll come running to me and he'll want me to go to the bathroom and dry him off with a towel. He said, "You've got that cat spoiled rotten." It's like, I am not in this alone, buddy. That cat is rotten because of multiple persons living in the same house. Not just me. And the dog's going, "Well, you let the cat out." I'll take her out in just a sec. Not that I want to, because it is raining. Cats and dogs, no. Okay. Getting into the middle when you've got wet stuff everywhere else, that's the problem when you work on a large sheet of paper. Posted or reposted a link to one of the quilting ladies here on YouTube, and she was making a very interesting scrap quilt where you use, those ugly fabrics you don't remember buying and you're like, why did I buy this? Well, she showed how you can use them to make hospital blankets, those blankets that you want to have for comfort in a hospital situation. Like if you have a loved one in the hospital, if you want to just send a quilt for comfort, but nothing that you've got a lot of technique and time in, and you want to use up your ugly fabrics. So it's still a comforting quilt. It's just, it's not the most beautiful, and it looks kind of scrappy. And if it got stolen in a hospital, you wouldn't be drastically upset that it was lost. And I told Scott, I said, I've got some fabrics I need to do that with. He said, only a few? I was like, shut up. I like to do, we call them ugly fabric swaps. And what you do is you send like a yard of some ugly fabric to a partner, and they in turn turn it into something really pretty. And I've done that a couple times with the quilt group I'm in. And sometimes you'll get a tote bag back, and sometimes it's a wall hanging or table topper. And if it gets in somebody else's hands, sometimes that's all that's needed for an ugly fabric to get turned into something really pretty. One time I did a wall hanging for somebody using this really ugly floral fabric from the 80s. And I found this where you could almost do cross stitch. Barbara probably knows what I'm talking about, where you cut the ugly fabric up and then you put it back together. And I did this large heart in a wall hanging where the flowers from the ugly fabric formed the heart. And then on the outside, I got a fabric that is was kind of close to it. And I made that and sent it back. And I think she really liked it. It was fun. Thanks, Linda. Uh-oh. My nib's getting red on it. Let's try cleaning it up a little bit. So when you guys have your drop paper, like I've got fresh drop paper down, what do you do with your old drop paper? Do you make things out of it? I just made a bunch of cards with mine. Now, if you want to do more than just go around stuff, you can. Scott and I had hot dogs today. Homemade hot dogs, because we can't find anybody that can do hot dogs with chili. anywhere near us that's decent. So I told him, I said, let's just accept the fact that we're not going to find any out anywhere. And I'll just, when we get in the mood for a hot dog, I'll just make hot dogs at home because mine turn out really good. Scott took a picture of hot dogs the last time we had them and showed them to some of his coworkers. And they were like, where'd you buy that? And he's like, at my house. I'm just adding a few yellow dots because I want to. Not because it's a prompt, but it's using the marker. And I don't really have any plans to cook a dinner. It's getting kind of late. I try not to eat after 7 p.m. Put a few more yellow dots here and there, and then watch it say add dots. It's okay, we'll add some more. I think that's enough. Let's clean the nib off. It's got a little red on it. It's better than what it was. Oh, I've got a bunch of notifications blocking the screen. Where's my mouse? Here it is. Let's close those, Tanya. I'll watch that in a minute. And then Carolyn's RV Life. So she's having a giveaway on her channel. There's my sweetie. Tell the Chinese food at web story. Yeah, I made chicken chow mein, and Scott took it into work, and they said, is your wife Chinese? And he said, no. And they said, well, you can't make Chinese food at home. And Scott's like, yes, you can. They said, no, your wife's Chinese. No, my wife's not Chinese. Oh, you should be in bed. You're right, Linda. You should be. I'm going to dry this a bit, and I'll tell you what prompt 12 is. Prompt 12. And then what I'm going to do is set this aside to dry real good. And then I'll bring it back up and clear coat it, and then we'll chop it up. Oh, I don't want to do this. Use your least favorite color. 12. Use your least favorite color. Well, I'm going to do this. Does anybody else want an alternate? I don't know, Kathy. Scott should have asked them that. My least favorite color would actually look pretty good on here. And I don't have to use a lot of it. I just have to use some. And if I make lines with it, oh, JL wants an alt. Okay, your alt is gold. And Mary's going, yes. Alt is gold. Scott, Tippy's being bad. He's egging the dog on. Do you want to come back in? Or are you going to stay out there and pout? Guess he's going to stay out there and pout. All right, I've got this Tim Holtz really small stencil and orange because I don't like orange. Kathy's got it. She said orange, right? Howard, do you want to go out with Tippy and sit on the mat and pout in the rain? They're like two little boys. They're going to commiserate on the front porch over the rain. No, you don't. You want to go on the porch? Tippy, do you want to go on the back porch with Howie? Wait, no, I'm going to sit right here and make you feel guilty. Bernie, I'll take you out in a minute. If the rain would just let up for like 2 seconds, it would be great. Orange. Ugh. Oh no, I hate that. No. Gentle. Just a little bit goes a long way. That's better, sort of. Ugh, orange. Remember, it's going to get cut up. It's going to get cut up. It's going to get cut up. I should have just done the lines I originally thought to do. I'm going to call it more than good enough. Throw the stencils in the sink really quick. Ugh. Orange. Ugh. Howard, do you want to go on the back porch? You want to go on the front porch with Tippy or back porch? All right, Tippy's out here. All right, I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I'm going to work on another project. And I think I'm going to roll it with clear coat once it gets a little drier. And then we'll make a list of prompts in a little bit, and I'll put them on the back here. Let me pick up some of this paint real quick and put it back. How much can I carry? I don't know. How much can I? I will say I'll be glad when that weird decoupage stuff is used up. Curler goes back in there. Orange. All right. I'm going to take this to the kitchen. Keep the glue pot. I don't need this anymore. This can get back. right, here's this. I'm going to work on my little box project. I really need to do some more painty papers. I don't know if I have enough to do this project or not. Okay, the first thing I need to do is fix the corner where I ripped it accidentally, and it can be done with any color. Oh, Scott's got to go back to work. Bye. He's been kind of bored at work since they're not doing a whole lot. All right, let's fix the top of this first. I got a little aggressive and pulled that off from there. Is that too tall, or will that work just fine? That'll work. I'm just going to put some glue all on there. So, what was it? Peg Robinson was using those inks the other day, the eyes inks. I think she was. I think Peg was using those. All right, you guys, I'm going to have to get my shoes on and get the umbrella and take this dog out real quick. She's been quite patient, but she needs to go. So bear with me a minute. Watch my scraps. Make sure they don't run away. And I'll take her out to go to the bathroom. One day I'll have a fenced yard again, and I can just open the door and say, good luck. But I can't do that with her here. She'd be out in the road in just a second because she's blind as a bat and can't tell where she's going. Well, we just finished a dirty dozen, and we're going to turn it into prompt cards. But while we're waiting on that to dry, I'm going to cover this box with scraps. But before I can get going on that, I've got a little dog that says she needs to go to the bathroom. So we're going to do that real quick because, we can't make them wait too long. She's been quite patient. You go outside, go to the bathroom. Okay, we're going to make a quick trip, dude. Why'd you bury your food? Are you going to eat it later? You need to eat now, baby. I'm going to uncover your food. Maybe she doesn't like that kind. All right, got shoes on. Let's get the umbrella. Hang on. All right, boys, the dog's coming. Look out. She'll just step on you. Sorry. Okay. Do you want to come back in, Tippy? All right. Come here. No cookie? Hey, come here. Hey, cookie. All right. Get in your bedroom. Get in there. Get the cookie. Here's your cookie. Okay. Oh. So wet out there. The rocks at the front steps are underwater, so I have to step into a puddle to get off the porch. Oh, talk amongst yourselves. I'm back. I was thinking how fun it could be to just glue strips down on the top here and then maybe put a solid black around the edge. I don't know. Cookies. Yes, cookies. I checked the mailbox while I was out there, but I hadn't seen the mail lady today. She talked and talked to Bernadette yesterday. These are all off y'all's envelopes, I think. I had some bits left over of envelope and I just cut them into strips. I might just glue these down and trim them off later. Well, Bernadette can't see that it's raining. She can hear it, but once she's out there, she's like committed, and I have to walk around in the rain with her, so. I could have made a woven top, couldn't I, with these strips? But I thought how neat it would be to use up some of the stuff I came across cleaning up the other day. So that's what we're doing. We're using up stuff. Is this long enough? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Linda, how's Pin doing? Tell her hi if you talk to her. Tell her Scott and I said hi. My mother-in-law is missing us really bad. She keeps calling Scott saying, when are y'all coming down again? When I went out with the dog, the cats ran and got under the truck, and they both look kind of miserable because it's all wet under the truck. Offered to let Tippy come back in, but he's just sitting there. It's like, no, you won't pay attention to me only, so I'm just going to stay out here and make you feel bad. I'm wondering now, where's those cards? Will these fit this way? I might make the cards to fit inside this box. That's the top of the box. So instead of being 3 inches that way, I might make them a little smaller, and then they could be 2 stacks in here. And this could be their storage box. And I will have recycled several things that way. Let's just chop some of that off. I know, it's hard to get them to stay in, isn't it? My stepfather's the worst about getting him to stay in, but he doesn't seem to think having 30% lung capacity is anything more serious than anybody else has. But what can you do? At least my mother-in-law's staying in pretty good. I told her, I said, call Greg. He's got to go out and about anyway to go to work. I said, if he has time, he'll stop at the store and get you something. There's nothing so urgently needed that it can't wait until, somebody else is available to go get it for you right now. Once this dries, I'll cut the ends off. Oh, the little jug, I messed up the pressure in it, Janice, and I need to get some more glue so I can fill it all the way up, because for it to work really well, you have to have it completely full. I dropped the bottle, and I think it made the air come out. That was my, the air that has to stay in the bottle to move the glue back and forth. I think it damaged it. So basically, if you get one of those, don't drop it because they're very sensitive. And of course, telling my hands sometimes not to do something is nigh on impossible. Especially if it's late in the day. But this glue all, it feeds out pretty good too. So I've been using it. I do like the little glue bot. I just got to remember you can't drop them. Scott really has enjoyed using the one he has. Is that long enough? Not quite. It's another purple strip. I was hoping to have a little bit more. Oh, look, a little elephant's in here. That's got some of the window on it right there. Let's just chop that off. Not doing too good at spreading glue anyway. There we go. I don't know if that's my hair or Tippy's hair or what, but that's weird. Uh-oh. I might have trimmed off too much of it. I got that Mod Podge over here, and now I don't think I'm going to use it. I think I'm just going to use some glue all. You drop everything? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. That is not good. That one's kind of... One of my high school classmates works on those ospreys. These are fun to just glue down and use on projects. This one fit there better. Yeah. One of my main problems physically is that pinching motion. When my hands don't have as much strength as they used to do like the pinch turn. So sometimes I have trouble getting bottles open and stuff like that. So I just hand it to Scott and say, here, your hands are strong. Just open this for me. You better start using these Twinchy prompts. Are there some good ones in there, Barbara? Hi, Colleen. All right, so we'll set that aside to dry. Over here. Where's my bag that I had those in? I'll put those back in the bag. Because you never know when you might need a little sliver on a little piece of paper to decorate something. Back in my scrap bucket over there. All right, I'm going to close my glue for a minute. And we'll bring this back up. And I'm going to go ahead and clear coat this before I cut it up. And this is the Americana Duraclear High Gloss. So these will be glossy cards. I'm just going to spread some of this on here. And then use my brayer and bray it around. Kind of stinky. I'm just rolling off that clear coat from my brayer. I'll get a baby wipe and wipe it off. I'm going to set this aside to dry. I was shocked to read that. It popped up because she's, on my friends list on Facebook, and I saw her husband's post. I'm going to handwrite them. I'll just write them on the back. All right. So this is the bottom of the box. So what's the max size I can make my cards, because I think I want to make them so they'll slide in here. I'm not going to make them this tall. I want to make it so that 2 stacks of them side by side can fit. So they need to be no taller than 2.5 inches. So they're going to be 2.5 by half this width. 2.5, that's 5 1/4, so 2.5 plus 1/8. So 5/8. So by 2 5/8. All right, clean this off, put it back where it belongs, put the gloss stuff up. I have a label maker, but it's just quicker for me to just write them in. Clean up some of this clear coat so that I don't get it on me. And I've got a piece of paper, and I thought while we're waiting on that to dry, I'd just make a list of prompts from you guys. And so we could probably have 25 or 30 prompts. I want to just number the sheet. We don't really know. It wasn't really said. Oh, her cat passed 6 years ago. Oh. Okay, guys, you want to start giving me prompts for us to put on the back of our cards and then we'll use these cards next week. I thought I would just do the list and then I'll work on the cards from the list. I'll try to catch them all as y'all are typing them in. Add glitter. Blech. Add glitter. Collage. Probably spelt that wrong. No. Circles. Texture. Use scraps. Use something water soluble. I have glitter and I've been trying to use it up and I'm not going to replace it. Napkin. Background stamps. After watching Dee Dee this morning, I think we should all try to find ways to use our stamps more again. Stencil. Splatters. That's 10. Painty paper. Oh, hi, Sharon. Painty paper. I probably said hi to you earlier, but I just saw you again. Add scribbles, book text. Add paint. Lines. Scallops. My arm is sticking to the table because of the clear coat. Add lace. Hear it? Tippy's glaring at me from under the truck. Did we? I think we already did splatter, Sharon. Yeah, I got splatters up here. Add a border. Sticky Becky. Yep, it's just, I thought I'd wiped it up, but apparently not. Add flowers. Or as Joe says, fleurs. Add cutouts. I'm going to do one. Household stamp. Household or handmade stamp. Washi tape. Add dots. Washi tape. Well, add dots, washi tape. Add a silhouette. I'm probably spelling that wrong, butchering it. I'll look it up. Modeling paste. I'm going to put ink. None of us have said ink yet. What else can we do? Bubble wrap. I'm not going to put stickers because I hate stickers. I just don't like stickers. Marker. I'm just weird like that, Colleen. Sprays. Oh, wild card or free space. Wild card sounds good. That'll be a good mix. This is probably not dry. Oh, see, there goes Linda McAllister with more gelatos. I'm going to have to dry this some with a heat gun. And then I'll chop it up into the, what did we say? 2.5 by 2 5/8. See how many I get. I should write them down. Just in case I have room. I'm good. That'll get us going for this week. Keep looking to see if Tippy's come back up on the porch. He's still just laying under the truck on the wet ground, glaring at me. You really should let that clear coat dry on its own, but I want to finish these. Oh, I like that paint left hand. Bye, Terry. I'm sure you do, Linda. Save them for next week. Maybe we'll make another set of cards to add to this set to fill my box up, because this probably isn't going to fill the box up. All right, let me see how many of these I can cut real quick. With my cutter really needs a new blade, and I have new blades, but do I know where they are? Of course not. Of course I don't. This has got a piece of paper hanging off the edge. Let's see if they're down in here. Aha! Aha! There we go. It'll just make them finish out so much better if I switch this blade out. Let's put the covery thing around this one. Who is it? Howard says, you know it's me. Ooh. I think it's on the wrong side of the wire is what the problem is. Just a minute, Howard. That's a little better. And then I'll put this over the old blade. Let's stick it in there. Oh, it's Tippy. Callie, you want to come in? Come on. I'll hold the doors. Just run. Just run really fast. You want to come in? No? Nope, she's going to punish me. She's going to lay on that tire and pout. All right, you guys go to the kitchen. Tippy, come on. No, Tippy, no! Oh, Tippy. Buddy, really? They usually come when I whistle. They're better than dogs when it comes to whistling. 2 5/8. So right there. I'm going to do all the 2 5/8 right now. Sorry, I can't put this where you all can see, since Mr. has to be in the middle of the table. Tippy, you're kind of in the way, booty. All right, I have this much scrap from the cutting it that way. Now I'm going to do the 2 1/2, right? 2 1/2. These would be little cards. They're almost exactly square. Okay. And then I got a small little piece like that that's opposite way. 4. Buddy. Yeah, I love you. Yes. Reaches up and pets my face. What are you doing? How can I do anything with you like this? Huh? Won't you sit in my lap? And then that'll work out for both of us. You would, oh, you're wet. Look at that wet spot you put on the table. That's where you've been sitting under the truck. Look at all that sand and garbage. Is your butt dirty? Honey, why don't you go lay down? I don't know if I can stack this. I'm not going to. I'm probably not going to get as many as if I cut them the other way. I would have gotten more cards cutting the other, but that's okay. This way they'll fit in my box. And I'll have some extra little bits that I can make some cards with. I'm only going to have 16 prompts this way. But they'll be cute cards. Hi, buddy. You good boy? No. Says, yes, I am. So I'll have some prompts ahead for next week. The foreign exchange student that came to my school in 1982, I saw his Facebook page popped up in my feed. I guess he put our school down. He was from Sweden. We had another exchange student that was from South Africa, but I heard from classmates that he had passed away. He fell off a cliff. All right. Cutesy little cards. Now you've made a wet spot on the table that I got to be careful not to get my cards into. Something I have done in the past that makes it really interesting looking is if you do watercolor on the back and then splatter with different colors of watercolor and then just let it dry, it'll make a speckled background, which is really cool. Stop. Get up there and behave yourself. And if you wanted, you could ink the edges and all that, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to write some prompts on the back and call these done. Tippy's a rotten little stinker. Bernadette's finally eating her dinner. She had it buried. Howard, come here. Howie. Tippy's gone to see what he can get into that he knows I will get upset. So I'll jump up and make him stop. He's doing it on purpose. That's why I say he's a spoiled little brat. I thought Barb was at my house last night having to deal with Chance and Charlie. It's like a zoo in the evenings when it comes to cats. They all decide to go cray-cray. Oh, good night, Linda. Thanks for hanging with us. Get some rest. Even with Scott's shift change, it's usually 1 or 2 a.m. before we're all asleep. And then the family doesn't understand when they call it like 9 o'clock, we're not up. I was going to try to get up and watch Mary, but I was not moving yesterday or this morning. Just wasn't moving at all. Friday, I got to get up and around because I've got to have Bernadette down there at the vet by 11:30 in the morning. Her appointment's not till like 3 something, but they said that's just how they're doing it. They're just doing like a morning drop off and then they just keep them all day. I was like, okay. Howard's massaging the door again. Howard, why don't you go on the back porch, buddy? And then you can just get in your chair or sit on the rail and not be getting wet. Just a minute. I'm almost done. I think my little filler space in the bottom was full. Let's dump that out. All right. Let me go let the boss man out. Scott was watching these couple of guys that was touring around like out in the boondocks of Canada. And they were at this, hi, Tanya. They were walking around this old paper making town and it had a luxury, so-called luxury hotel in it and everything. But there was only like hardly any residents, like 500 people live there now. And the houses can be bought real cheap, but they're all run down and they would need, thousands of dollars worth of work to get livable. I don't think I can live that rough. No grocery stores, nothing. Everything has to be flown in. Buddy, come on. Let me put you out on the porch. Howard. Howard. Howdy. Howdy. All right, let's see. So I got some cute little prompt cards now. If I can remember what size to make the rest of them, I'll be doing good. Let's see. Thinking about what to write, what to use to write with. Some things will bleed through. I've got these Sharpies Scott got me at Christmas. Let's see if they'll write it in the back here. All right. You love the orange on them? I kind of figured it would look okay. All right. I'm going to skip the add glitter for right now. Let's do collage. think that's, I don't know. Add circles, collage. We'll check these off as I do them. Add texture. Use. Scraps. Water soluble. Napkin. Background stamp. And I'm going to do a parentheses S in case you want to use more than one. Background stamps. And the rain's coming down harder. Stencils. Splatter. Use painty paper. Add scribbles. Book text. Paint. Add lines. Scallops. And last one for this week is add lace. So what you could do if you wanted to is you could just do a little wonky border around the out back of it like that. Doesn't have to be anything, you know. It can just be a wiggly line. Here comes Tippy. He's my kitty. Doo-doo-doo-doo. It's Tippy time. Let me see if I can get all these cards where I can see them before he flops like that. Yeah, if you watch, Barb has actually done her live last Friday, discussed how to make the positivity journal. And then last night she came on and did the colors. how she colored her pages with, and she used the art paste. I've actually done that art paste technique, but I didn't use the art paste. I bought liquid laundry starch at Walmart. It's with the laundry stuff. I think this weather's got this cat kind of freaked out, so I don't know if I'll stay on too much longer. I was hoping to finish decorating my box, but if he's going to keep getting up here in the way, that's kind of annoying for y'all. And I don't have another room I can just lock him in. He's kind of in your face, and that's where he stays when he's wanting attention. And Howard's gone on the back. Howard and Callie do not normally like to be in when weather's bad. They like to be out where they can run and hide, I guess. I don't know what their thinking is. This one, he's with me. If the weather's turning nasty, he's right in here with me. So now that I've got them all cut apart and filled in, we'll see if they fit in the box. How about that? They should. Well, this will tell me how many times we can do this game. If I get out of a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, if I only get 16 of these, this size, this is the box. Has to go this way. And I think they should fit two stacks perfectly in there. Like so. They're a perfect fit. I mean, they just fit in there. What I'm going to do is see how far up in here they come up in. So I could probably do another 12 by 12 sheet, would fill it up on one side. So we can do this 3 more times, and then we'd have a full little box of cards. So that would be 16 times 4. So 24. What, how many? 16 times 4. My brain is just not. That's 20. That would give you 60 prompt cards in a little. We would have our own little handmade 60 count prompt card set in a box. So we'd have to come up with some more things, right? Is that right? 16 times 4. 6 times 4. No, 6 times 4 is 24. So 64 cards. So we need a few more things, a few more prompts. I swear the young man that lives across the street in this one bedroom, I think it's a bedroom, or it could be a living room. I've never been in that house. But it looks like he has giant, like a 36-inch round disco ball hanging from the ceiling. And he does have some wild parties over there. But the size of this thing, it just glows when he's got light on in there. I don't know. Isn't he sweet? They say you're sweet, Tippy. All right, let's see if we can trim the ends of this away. I guess I'll finish this later. Just want to trim these off, Tip. It might be easier to trim them off with an X-Acto knife. Just a minute, buddy. There we go. go. All right. And that'll give us a little box to store a deck of prompt cards in. So it's a recycled candy box, a really old from my stash piece of cardstock, and then just supplies. So that's what we got done. I think what I'm going to do for the paintbrushes is I'm going to try to do one on my own, and I'll do it up as a standalone video. And then that way I'll know all the ins and outs of it. And then we'll do some together. So if you guys want to look, you know, in your garage or whatever for these little chipboard brushes, I'm going to use the 2-inch size. And I'm going to make them look like people. So the bristles will be their hair. And then the face will go here. So let me working out my kinks in it. And then we'll do this live together if you want to get a little 2-inch paintbrush on hand. I don't know when we'll do that, but it'll be sometime. So anyway, you want to say hi to them. All right, you got to look over here. Tippy. Tippy. Say hi. I'm mad because she's talking to y'all and not me. Hi, Patricia Stubbs. I think I'm going to sign off. I've been on since 5. I came on early because Scott's going to get off at 9 o'clock. And I wanted to be done before he got home. Oh, and Sharon Marlowe said that my space is always clean, but if you look behind me, it's not. We all have the behind me bit that I'm going to get through eventually. I got to show you all what happened with me with doing mandalas. Let me put you back down here. Let you look at Tippy a minute. So everybody involved in the mandalas with Barb Owens we started using the gel pens and I got hooked. So I now have a whole tin. This is nothing but gel pens. And the ones I really love are these. They're Jelly Rolls Gold. And if Mary hasn't seen these, they are so cool. Okay. This looks like a navy blue pen, right? But when you write, we'll write Mary's name. See what's happening? It's got gold to it. Isn't that cool? So these are Jelly Roll Gold. I looked them up. I got them off of Amazon. It looks blue when it goes down, but it turns. But the blue's kind of still there. It's really interesting. And it comes in different, like here's a red. And it goes on red, but then it turns and has that gold hue to it, which is really cool looking. See? And I just love how they make the mandalas look. So if I do like Mary, we've done the top of my little recycled candy box. We did some cards. We've had Tippy interruptions. I showed this mandala I did yesterday. And I showed the little positivity word journal I'm doing with Barb Owen. Yeah, Tippy is not impressed. And I've colored my pages with acrylic paint. I did mine different than Barb did, but I just have a different look then. So I'm looking forward to Friday with that. And that's all I have to share, I think. Tippy is never impressed. He's wanting to kill my little man there. All right, Tippy, you going to say bye? He said, are you going to get off now? I'm going to let you guys go. And I will see you guys next Wednesday, if not sooner. He's my little buddy. Okay, guys, I hope you had fun. And I'll see you later. Oop, he's being like Quicksilver. He won't let me hold him. He's mad at me. Thanks, guys. Y'all take care.